Wow. Satoru Gojo is undeniably, as I said before, the strongest in Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, before I get into this, I just want you guys to know, I'm not a Satoru Gojo channel by any means, because if you look at my past videos, you'd think, yo, this guy just talks about Gojo. But I promise you that is not the case. This guy just keeps week in and week out surprising us and showing us why he is one of the most specially talented and just the best in Jujutsu Kaisen. Keike Ukutami has just said, yo guys, I'm not gonna lie, even though Sukuna is meant to be this big bad villain, he is literally nothing in comparison to Gojo, and from the looks of it, it seems to be true. But before we dive into that, leave a like for Hackery Luck, subscribe if you're new, and let's actually evaluate why Gojo in flow state has become the strongest in Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, before people say I'm glazing Gojo, let's be real, this looks like the biggest death flag in mankind, proposing a victory so early on in which it looks like, yeah, now Gojo's finally going to take it, but we already know that Yorozu gave Sukuna a gift. Sukuna has a lot to show in the story and we haven't seen yet, especially with the black boxes, the high-end error, the flashback, etc, etc. There's a lot of content from Sukuna we haven't seen thus far, so we know Gojo isn't gonna straight up win. But realistically, I think they're going to pull the card of Sukuna took in Maharaga before the blast actually activated, because we didn't see Maharaga's body, and then afterwards we are now left with Maharaga coming out of nowhere and attacking Gojo. But the way all of this originally started, it was with the fact that Gojo, completely regrowing his right hand, was fighting against Agito and blasting with the limitless blue. So Agito was constantly getting crushed, and then afterwards it is explained to us that Gojo pretty much entered like a flow state and his intensity was raised due to the fact that he did 2 black flashes previously. As you can see, he used one against Maharaga and used one against Sukuna earlier on. Then it is revealed to us that for the first time in 1,000 years, Sukuna got nervous, and it's surprising to think that Sukuna wasn't nervous this whole time in the fight, but this is the first time he gets nervous, thinking that he could lose. I mean, the fact that he's never felt like that before is actually mind-blowing and impressive at the same time. Then afterwards, Gojo keeps applying the pressure and hits him with the 3rd black flash on Maharaga, meaning that he has more momentum to actually attack on against Sukuna as well. Sukuna, not looking confident at all, tries to throw a punch with the domain amplification, but Gojo blocks it and throws him towards Maharaga, then hitting the 4th black flash, in which Maharaga blocks. But still, the fact that he's able to dominate so much when it was a 3v1 initially is so impressive. And Sukuna has been clowned enough, I think is even overkill at this point, but come on. How can you be protected by Maharaga like it's your uncle, man? This is too much. So Gojo proceeds to do a chant to buff the move of the recursal technique reversal red. And pretty much, Sukuna was happy for this to happen. He wanted Maharaga to adapt to red, so this would not be an issue whatsoever. Because as you know, Sukuna pretty much had that adapt to blue and he had it adapt to infinity, and the next one was going to be to red, as Maharaga already got hit by red before, so the next hit will make it adaptable and it wouldn't cause that much of a problem. But Gojo shoots it into the sky. Sukuna notices and wonders, whoa, what's going on? This is bad. Almost like he tells Maharaga to hurry up and go and chase the red. As Maharaga is going, chasing the red, Gojo is one step closer and able to teleport or maybe travel, who knows, the speed was insane, to Maharaga and punch him away. Sukuna then comes out and tries and use the piercing elephant to stop the blue from forming with the red. In the process, you can see that Gojo calmly begins to chant as he enhances the blue in a short period, and that meant Sukuna doing his attack had no effect whatsoever on Gojo and his blue. This meant that Gojo Satoru was about to cause one of the greatest attacks we've seen from him thus far. And let's be honest, even Yuto Kosu on the sideline is like, hey, Kusakabe, I kind of apologize, because before I was about to intervene and try and help Gojo, but I would have been the biggest hindrance ever, because he wouldn't have been able to pull off this. And then what happened was the blue and the red merging together, as Gojo says, hollow purple. This wasn't your regular hollow purple. This one looked like an atomic bomb, disintegrating everything within the vicinity and leaving Gojo, Maharaga, Sukuna affected. This was beautiful, and in fact it made me even wonder, what could Gojo not do? This guy has been able to do a 3v1. He was able to take down Maharaga single-handedly, and now has put the King of Curses to his knees, as well as making Sukuna admit that he is actually nervous against Gojo. This man has literally shown us feat after feat after feat, and Sukuna is literally impressed and scared. So for Kusakabe in the last chapter saying that he is holding back, yeah, I don't think so. Because right now, Sukuna is in one of the worst positions possible, where Gojo is standing tall and undefeated, unfazed by his own move because he used Hollow Purple. Whereas Sukuna in this case is on his knees, pretty much on the rubble and coming out. Everyone around acknowledges that right now, Gojo is in an unstoppable situation. He has the Infinity. Maharaga's no longer there to protect anyone. Unless Sukuna has made Gojo worn out to the point where he cannot do any more moves, or his brain is going to mess up or something along those lines, then right now Gojo looks like he's in the driving seat. Sukuna can't punch him. He cannot do domain amplification because he lost a lot of cursed energy, as well as a reverse curse technique consuming a lot of cursed energy. Now, the things to be wary of, although Gojo has supposedly shown that he is the strongest, and if you put him in the high-end era, he would have dog-walled Sukuna, we have to now look at it as, because Kusakabe did the anime usual where every character has to be like, yeah, that's right, we won. Now we have to worry about what on earth is going to happen to Gojo. Because I think even though he would be called the strongest, he might not win overall, which is the biggest problem. So the possibilities that are about to happen in which the strongest is now going to get intervened is the fact that Sukuna was very smart to take away Maharaga before the Hollow Purple shot off. It's either Urame is going to intervene and, cause some damage in this case, so then after that Sukuna can regain his arm, or Yoruzu has a move that's going to catch Gojo off guard and is going to break through his Infinity. I'm not 100% sure, but these are the possibilities that could actually happen. So this has solidified the time that Gojo was announced the strongest in Jujutsu Kaisen without a doubt. He has won, and there's no way for Sukuna to go around it. Although he was said to be holding back, there's no way to defend Sukuna in the fact that Gojo has done everything possible to win. And if you underestimated Gojo, that was your biggest mistake from the beginning, because you already know he has the Infinity and it's not something to play about. The domain expansion battle was meant to defy who is the strongest between the two, as they had peak sorcery, and let's be honest, that battle was literally neck and neck. Sometimes Gojo won, sometimes Sukuna won, but it always looked like Sukuna took the worst damage out of the domain expansions. Then we moved to when Sukuna was not able to use the domain expansion along with Gojo, and they were fighting hand to hand. Gojo always seemed to have the upper hand due to the fact that he simply had the Infinity. Afterwards, we see him get hit with the Black Flash, which gave Gojo momentum to use it again and again and again against Maharaga, defeating Agito with ease, afterwards causing a Hollow Purple into the vicinity, destroying everything. Gojo is solidified to be the strongest and the best, and I don't see a way where Sukuna can be looking stronger than Gojo in this moment of time. It seems like his GG's. But RIP Gojo in advance, because this ain't gonna end well, I can just tell already. Anyway, that is the conclusion. Check out my other videos if you haven't seen them already. I also did a video on Gojo if he was in the Shibuya arc. It's very interesting. I think you should check it out. And as I say to the new and old people that come and visit my channel,